in the wake of the coups that disposed a number of puppet leaders in the Sahel region, followed by the subsequent dismissal of French neo-colonialists from the region. French President Emmanuel Macron bragged, saying any West African country that thought it could make it without the support of France was lying. Speaking with false pride, Emmanuel Macron sounded optimistic. No African leader would be able to move any African country forward without the French influence. Unfortunately, he was wrong. Captain Ibrahim Traoré is a man extremely determined to turn tables in favor of the Burkinabe people, shedding shadows of shame on the faces of Africa's puppet leaders and the French neo-colonialists. Without apology, Captain Ibrahim Traoré has already undertaken a number of projects making significant reforms in the security sector, economy, and social reforms. In this video, we are going to explore Captain Ibrahim Traoré's mega housing project, the Faso Mayo initiative that is changing the face of Burkina Faso. But before we start, if you are new here, I request you support the channel by subscribing and hitting the notification bell so that YouTube notifies you every time we upload an informative video like this one. Like and share this video. And of course, don't forget to leave a comment telling us where you're watching from. Now let's get started. Recently, during the Council of Ministers session, the government of Captain Ibrahim Traoré announced the launch of a large-scale housing project code named Faso Mayo that aims to benefit thousands of the Burkinabe populations through provision of decent, cost-effective housing. The Faso Mayo, which is part of a comprehensive urban development initiative by Traoré's governments, will see the construction of thousands of decent houses, improvement of sanitation across the towns and cities of Burkina Faso, and the creation of green spaces in the towns and cities of Burkina Faso. This project is a demonstration of Traoré's holistic approach to the challenges facing Burkina Faso. While security is viewed as the country's biggest challenge, Captain Ibrahim Traoré understands that a country cannot development by focusing all the energy on one sector. This is why his government has undertaken efforts to address the rapid urbanization challenges facing Burkina Faso. The project is part of Traoré's wider vision for the urban transformation of the cities and towns of Burkina Faso. According to a high-ranking government official in Burkina Faso and spokesperson of the government of Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the initiative is a direct response to the challenges facing the urban centers in the country that call for a need for organized urban planning for a better life in the cities and towns of Burkina Faso. The spokesperson also said that the government's focus on urban beautification and infrastructural development in the country was a direct shift towards inclusive and sustainable growth that aims to improve the quality of life for the average Burkina populations. The official was quick to allude to the fact that this initiative is the brainwork of Captain Ibrahim Traoré, adding that this initiative was an additional initiative to further his will for the well-being of the people of Burkina Faso. In his words, the spokesperson said, "The Burkina Faso presidency and the Council of Ministers has adopted an important decree launching the Faso Mayo presidential initiative. What must be said at this level is that it is an additional initiative of the President of Burkina Faso, which denotes his will to provide appropriate answers to the concerns and challenges of Burkina citizens. The objective is, of course, to improve the well-being of the population. It is an initiative that has essentially two components. The Faso Mayo project has two core elements. The first being the construction of road infrastructure across all cities and towns of the country, and the second being the redevelopment and construction of low-price quality housing, development of proper sanitation and drainage system, and the creation of green spaces. According to Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the development of a proper road infrastructure is a cornerstone for the overall development of the country, including food security that he has always hinted on as a pivotal factor for self-sustainability of the African continent. According to a statement by a government official, Burkina Faso has earmarked up to 15,000 kilometers of usable roads, yet only 4,000 had been upgraded to world standards, adding that the office of President Traoré had directed for an accelerated intervention through the Faso Mayo project to have the 15,000 kilometers upgraded to world standards for accelerated development. Well, some puppet leaders somewhere are about to begin challenging this video, trying to say they also have development projects in their countries. In this segment, we want to show you how unique the Faso Mayo initiative is. Like we have always said, Captain Ibrahim Traoré works for the people of Burkina Faso, as demonstrated by his rejection of the presidential salary and maintaining his salary of a captain and wearing a military attire and traveling around in a simple armored military van. This project is no different than an initiative aimed to better the life of the Burkinabe people while saving their taxpayers bulks of money. An initiation assessment by the government indicated that the cost of tarmacking a kilometer in Burkina Faso was anywhere between 500 million to a billion CFA francs by private companies. To address this problem, the government of Captain Ibrahim Traoré launched the public brigades. These are teams of government engineers equipped with the latest equipment in road construction and engineering. The use of the public brigades is sought to reduce the cost of making the road infrastructure by more than a half. The public brigades are also working tooth and nail and will be delivering the project in a much shorter time span than the private companies. This is what we call a leader of action. In the second phase of the initiative, the government of Captain Ibrahim Traoré seeks to provide decent accommodation that is able to contain a high population density within the towns of Burkina Faso while improving social services that include drainage, gas supply, education, electricity, and water supply, among others. Cognizant of Burkina Faso's rich culture, the Faso Mayo project is establishing a state-of-the-art national theater to not only celebrate the culture of the Burkinabe people, but also sell to the rest of the world the country's rich culture. The theater will provide the latest tools needed by the Burkinabe artisan to fully exploit their potential and contribute to the national development of the country. Additionally, as part of the Cultural and Arts Performing Initiative, the country will activate laws that protect the works of the Burkinabe artisans while providing a digital platform for a worldwide reach. In his words, the government spokesperson said, "With the artists, this forward project of the law takes into account this issue with the obligation that is now made for any collaboration with artist children to have a formal contract that is therefore signed and which guarantees the respect of the rights and above all the advantages of these children." So there are many new evolutions that have been taken into account in this forward project of the law, which should also allow a much healthier delivery of the artist card in Burkina Faso, which allows to recognize the professional artist. This forward project of the law also takes into account a number of measures in connection with the social security of our creative artists, but also in terms of the possibility of collective conventions, which guarantee remuneration to the author of the artistic creation, and which also allows our artists to be able to fully experience their talent in artistic. With this holistic development within a short span of time, what excuse do the puppet leaders who have been leading African countries for decades have for the low progress of the continent? Share your thought with us in the comment section, and thanks for watching.